Turf Talk with Drew Miller.
On this next part of the inaugural all-female grounds crew softball Little League World Series, we have Miss Amy Fouty and Miss Nina Odenkamp. They are two of the most professional groundskeepers that I've ever met. Amy at her time with Michigan State, long tenure now with the Mott's Group, and Nina doing incredible work in, I believe, Omaha, Nebraska, and the surrounding area with her field construction. It was great to put these two great minds together in this podcast to discuss everything that goes on when it comes to field construction, from like Parks and Rec level, Little League levels, all the way up into, again, professional stadiums across the world. And just to get insight on what they know and how they have developed their knowledge over the years, to then bring it to, again, with everything, the Little League World Series. And it was really, really cool, because something that I recognized throughout the weekend, especially with these two, they were so open with the kids, the younger individuals that were on the crew, always trying to help them. I know Amy spent a lot of time trying to teach one of my students how to properly do things, and Nina was always working with younger individuals on different tasks and showing them the right way. And it was just incredible to see, again, these industry leaders taking these young women under their wings and really just being a mentor. And again, it's such short notice. And it was great to hear their experience and to get their point of view. Again, I believe Amy discusses how she really never thought something like this would ever happen in her career. 30 plus years in the industry, again, being one of the best to ever do it. And it was just incredible to, again, see in her eyes what it meant to her and what this whole series was, again, for this entire crew. And it was incredible to get to speak to all of that. And I can't thank Amy and Nina enough for everything that they do for all of us and for inspiring that next generation. And again, it is just incredible. So I hope you enjoy this episode of Tiger Turf Talk. Welcome back. We're live here in Greenville, North Carolina, at the Little League World Series. Now we have Miss Nina Odenkamp of Odie's Field Experts and Amy Fouty, CSFM, Field Consultant for the Mott's Group. How you guys doing? How's the experience been? It's insane that we're all here, and it's been phenomenal, but what's it been like for you guys personally?
This whole experience has been life-changing for me.
Yeah.
Being around all these young people, seeing the future of the industry, so bright. I'm overwhelmed.
It truly is, yeah, for sure. How about you?
I think I'm dreaming. I'm pinching
That's
myself
awesome.
every day.
I love that.
I'm sitting next to Amy Fouty, which is somebody who's been in the industry forever and an idol. And she's here. Yep, girl, it's you. And everybody else that's here. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
we got a long list of names, but just to be here with all these women and doing what we do,
Yeah.
it's powerful, it's unforgettable, and don't wake me up.
I hear you, for sure. I love that. And again, it's been incredible for me to just sort of observe and everything, and it's just another day at the office for you guys. It's no different than what you guys do already, but having that experience and having that impact of being the all-female grounds crew for the first time ever, what does the significance of that mean to you, and how do you see this sort of playing out in the future at different events? Maybe we were talking to the other, like, we can go to the Super Bowl if you guys need us to. Like, so,
Where you want us?
where do you see this sort of going? And again, that impact that you guys see on these young kids, and I've been saying it all week, the impact you guys are having on the girls that are playing, and the people that are watching, and seeing the ability of you guys, it's, again, unparalleled across the board, So what does it mean to you and sort of the future of what this holds?
Well, for me, I grew up playing softball. When I was a kid, played softball, played Little League, kind of came up through Little League, played high school, played, dreamed about playing in college. And it's just, this experience, seeing these young girls, learning life lessons and things, camaraderie, winning, losing, how to deal with that, picking yourself up, it's all life experiences. It teaches you how to live. So that's very, very special. It's very influential for me. And it's like a full circle thing, It's 50-year anniversary of Title IX. And, that thinking about that in my life, that we've always had opportunity, and that, we didn't have to fight for the opportunity. We were given an opportunity. And so grateful for those women that came before me that were able to really, set that stage up for us. And then our task to set up that for the next generation is very, very special. For me, just like our good friend Kelly Lynch, I didn't think I'd ever see an event with an all-female grounds crew in my lifetime. And to be here and to mentor and teach and support and hopefully, see these young people go out and do the same thing, it's like a big pay it forward.
I love it. That's so awesome. Sorry. I'm geeking out over here, honestly.
Special.
Yeah. So our hashtag See It Be It. And I grew up, I've been in the industry for 16 years. And so I kind of grew up in it. It's a family-owned business.
Gotcha.
So, growing up, I was a tomboy, so I hung out with the boys. And now, being in the sports construction, I hang out with the guys, you know. So I didn't know what I was missing. And when I was invited to the Olympic Club, and I became, surrounded with 30 women who were turf experts, or turf industry experts, and it was just like, whoa, like what just happened? And it's just a completely different atmosphere. Just being surrounded by these women, and I don't know, do you like growing up along with girls? We can kind of catty, I'm gonna say. And
Never.
so when you hang out with the guys, it's a different world. But when you hung out with these girls, it was like we were together. We were working for the same goal, whether it was getting a field ready or a course ready. It's just powerful. We're there to support each other. We're there to teach each other. We're learning from each other, and that's just what it means to me. See it, be it. You see it, you be it.
Sure.
Yep, you can be it.
That's awesome. Now, this is sort of the field construction podcast. Obviously, long tenured NCAA, and then obviously your company. What has it been like, sort of developing that sort of, again, field construction, the trying to get to something, but I can't get there. The relationship that you guys have to create with your customers, with your clients, different things that you're doing. What has it been like for you over the years? Obviously, 15 years, you said 16 years. How has it been, again, field construction, the Mott's Group's a big group. You're working with so many different people. How do you sort of grow those relationships that will last and allow your company to thrive and for the Mott's Group to grow?
Well, for me, it's been 30-plus year career in the industry. You have a lot of relationships, right? You've met a lot of people. You've done a lot of things. You've learned from a lot of people. And you take those relationships and, now I'm in a role with the Mott's Group to be able to give back and say, hey, here we are. Here's an opportunity for us to support you and your initiatives, and what do you need? What are the problems you're having? And I think you'd say the same thing.
I'm kind of going to say,
right?
I'm going to piggyback off of exactly what you just said, and it's just at the end of the day, it's like our passion is to build or give you a great field,
right?
And
what do you need?
and tell you how you can achieve that great field. We're going to give you the resources, we're going to give you the products, and at the end, after we give it to you and leave, that, you know, after we're done, we're not gone. We're still there. You can call us anytime if you have an issue, you have a question. Advice is free. Call us. I get phone calls sometimes 10 o'clock midnight. I might not answer it, but if I am awake.
It's like, I appreciate you guys calling me, but let's do it at a normal time.
But
I'm sorry.
but they're not customers anymore. They're family.
Gotcha.
Because once you're there for so long too, you know the town, you know the people.
That's awesome.
And yeah, call me if you need something. Call me. I'll do whatever I can for whatever the reason is. I'm not a come and go. We're not a come and go company.
Gotcha,
we're not
gotcha.
building.
Yeah,
we're not popping up.
either.
Yeah.
Like, we're here.
We're here to.
Absolutely.
We want your field. I want to put my name on your field too. You know, so.
So where are you based out of? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There are so many people out there trying to keep all the information.
I'm in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
What are you focusing on with Odie's? Obviously, family business. How about we just do like a history, backstory on the company and what you do, what you're focusing on, natural versus synthetic, or things that you guys are working on. Just a background, because it's awesome to hear the stories behind, especially when it's a family-owned business. It's like a really cool thing to learn about. So.
Yep. I mean, like family business. So we started with one piece of equipment, one trailer, and we would go and build fields, you know, or help renovate fields. There's a gentleman that's well known in the town. Can I say names or?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. His name's Joe McDermott.
I hope I don't get in trouble. I
don't know, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be around. So
gotcha.
He just said,
Shout
hey,
out Joe.
Yeah. So he has passed away, but his family's he's still around. I mean, the company's still around. But if it wasn't for him, he said, nobody does this. And my godfather and my father together said, okay, so they just started doing it on the weekends, you know, and it was just kind of a hobby for them.
So cool.
And then where I came in for the most part was hey, you want to throw some 50-pound bags? I'm a young kid. Let's throw some 50-pound bags. So figure it out. You know, we start buying more equipment, you know, more trucks, have a building now, have an office. We're picking up more business, you know, so and so and so.
Incredible.
So then we started building the business, and we started building fields. And then we were like, okay, we're done. And they're like, now how do we take care of it? So now we've built it. Now we're helping maintain it. Now we're helping supply it. So that's just kind of the story of Odie's in a way, but 15 years later, we have our own place. We have a lot of equipment. We take pride in having the right equipment, the right sports turf equipment. We go to the shows. We check out all the new equipment, have the best products, and through trial and error, we found things that work. We found things that don't work, and I don't know what anything else.
I love seeing the sparkle in your eye when you're talking about it. Like, it's passion. Like, you love it.
It is.
It's
what
family. I love it.
The whole week has been like everything everyone's doing. I'm just so honored to be here, you know.
Well, we're glad you're here.
But you have to have passion in this industry. If you don't, or in any job, if you don't like what you do,
if you're not passionate, what are you
go
doing?
You're in the wrong spot,
Yeah,
you know.
for
So
sure.
yeah, everyone here has passion, and you can see it. And you can see it in this field. Even Greenville, the stadium. There's passion here. There's passion
here. Last night was crazy. It got really filled. They were standing about here on the field. I was like, oh geez, okay. I didn't realize there was that many people.
Last night's turnout was
So
goosebumps.
awesome.
Oh my goodness! Like you had to be here to see it.
Absolutely.
It was very, very, very memorable.
So Michigan State, long tenure, incredible career. I always was amazed with your work, because obviously a lot of people are like, well, why isn't it just synthetic? You know, like, you're so far north. What was it like for you, again, developing the career that you had, the incredible career, and getting to the Mott's Group? What was that journey kind of like for you when it comes to sports field management and everything that you do?
Well, I started in golf, you know.
We're glad we got you. Sorry.
Started in golf, had some amazing mentors, right? Not unlike Chris and Jake here this week. Like, I had a lot of great mentors when I was young, and so supportive, right? Like, I was always like a puppy on a leash, man. Like, turn me loose. I just want to go. I want to do something. I want to get out. Like, I want to learn. Like, what are we doing? I want to hang around. I want to follow you around. And but I had an opportunity when I was 16 to start working on a golf course, and started doing that. And then the guys that I had met in Wisconsin were like, hey, like if you want to do this and this is your passion, like you need to go to Michigan State, you need to go to school. So got accepted at Michigan State, did an internship at a golf course in Japan.
That
So I was
is
gone
awesome.
for like 5 months on my internship, came back, was in the golf business, was an assistant and then a superintendent at a small public course for a while. And it just really, I don't know, really wasn't my jam. Like I like grew up loving sports. Like I grew up in Wisconsin, so like the Packers, the Brewers, like they were everything. Like our family, like our social gatherings were gathered around a TV or a sport event. Like we just love sports, right?
Yeah.
And then, so I got into sports turf by way of working at Michigan. Took care of the football and soccer fields there.
Gotcha.
Did some construction. And then the alma mater came knocking at the door, and was able to go back
They were
to
like,
my
"We don't
alma
like that-
mater
we don't like that blue on you. Come back here."
for 16 years, and really enjoyed that. And again, like, was mentored by some incredible people who supported me advancing, saw something in me. So I wasn't just field manager there. I was involved in facilities, event management, operations, project management, liaisoning with physical plant, or dealing with special events in the community, concerts, like you name it. Was pulled in to provide a perspective and a way to accomplish a task. I always like to say we had like superpowers, this group of people that I worked with at Michigan State, because they'd be like, okay, well, this is what we want to do, and we only have a third of the amount of time, we have like a third of the budget, like how do we get this done so it looks like expert, right?
Yeah.
So it was just amazing there. My mentor, Greg Ianni, he's a deputy AD there, and consider him to be like a father to me, like from what I learned from him about being a professional, about having patience, about being a leader and a mentor. Phenomenal person, right? So it was really special. And it grew my passion for construction, project management, relationship developing, which kind of led to where I am today.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
with
slid
the Moats
right
group.
in the Moats group perfectly,
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Moats is a 45-year-old company centered in the Midwest. So, we're on the other side of the Mississippi. We don't compete with Odie's, like they're
Odie's
over
got their
there.
own territory.
We got this side of the Mississippi. They got that side of the Mississippi. And, it started with Joe, and it was like a man, a truck, and a mower. So I think kind of similar backgrounds. And again, like he got asked to, hey, we don't have anybody that does this. Can you do this? Can you fertilize our natural grass high school fields? And then it was, can you fertilize and take care of, the Bengals field for us? And then, it just grew and grew until Moats was taking care of, World Cups and Super Bowl fields and, installing these fields as well. And then they stepped away for a time as synthetic kind of came into the marketplace and stayed focused a little bit closer to home because they had been traveling all over the world doing different things. And recently have come back to, wanting to return to their roots. I always laugh a little, return to their roots.
Love it.
And getting back into growing the natural grass division of the company. And that's where I step in, building relationships, the experiences that I've had, wanting to solve other people's problems and help them find a way to be successful. I never look at sports field managers as ever competing against each other. Like, we're not the people on the field. We're the people that set the stage for greatness. every day.
Where the game begins.
That's correct. We have all kinds of taglines
Yeah.
that we can use, right?
That was, Nick McKenna was like, "This is mine. I wanted to put this on there. I wanted to it's like this is what I always tell my crew. I'm like, all right, Nick, that's great, but it is
That's awesome.
very true, you know.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about passion a little bit ago, and it is rooted in like what you love and what you do. What are some of the maybe craziest, funnest experiences that you've had in your career? Obviously, you work with so many different people on so many different sites, and you've worked in NCAA for a long time, and even like this, I'm sure this is up there. But what are some of the best events that are experiences or chaos or whatever when it comes to your time in the industry?
I mean, every day is chaos, right?
Absolutely.
So that's the best thing about it, right? That's what keeps us on our toes.
But I mean, right away, I mean, this last few years, or I don't know, has it been a full year? It's been a full year. 2021, I did the Olympic Club. Or just a few months ago, I did Pine Needles with the U.S. Women's Open with the women in turf. Now I'm here, so this has been the most memorable, the most craziest time of my life. So if I had to take those out of there, I mean, I'm like, I can't even think past this. I mean, this last year has just been just overwhelming, and it's so cool to see how far this has come, and it's how fast it's moving. So I don't know. I feel like home's boring now. there's a few stadiums at home that are fun to work on, and do the infield renovations, helping them get ready each year for their seasons. So I mean, just those fun. I mean, I guess one field that I love working on, or I did help work on, was in town. We have Warner Park, the Storm Chasers.
Awesome.
And they're usually going first. So our season starts because of winter. Mm-hmm. We can start doing stuff February, March, and that's when Zach out at Werner needs help. So I have him on my schedule first, and
it's a cemented block.
Yeah, because he's first. Because I know he's going first. He needs to be ready first.
Yep.
And it's right around March Madness time.
Nice.
So the deal is, if I come out and help you, you got to put the game up on the big screen.
That's awesome.
That's fair. That's
awesome.
fair.
So that's always fun.
You gotta get the 7 games since it's big enough,
Yeah. So that I enjoy that every year. That'd probably be my.
That's cool.
My favorite.
That's awesome.
Well, it's interesting how over the years, what's most important and valuable kind of changes. From a professional experience, I think it was going to being a part of building what was needed for our team to go to the Rose Bowl. It was the 100th anniversary of the Rose Bowl. Michigan State played Stanford and won. It was like a Cinderella season. And to be a part of the team that came together 5 years or so before that, everybody had a role in the department. And we all came together with the goal to go to the Rose Bowl. And then when we did it, my husband and I got to go 10 days
awesome.
As guests of the team. So we got to do everything the team did. Rose Bowl parade, all that kind of stuff. It was fantastic. And then to come home and get a Rose Bowl ring and get all that kind of stuff, it was just incredible. And to share that with my husband and the people, my work family, personally now, life changes a little bit, and I've got 6 grandsons.
Congratulations.
Under the age of 9. All boys.
God bless you.
And I love them, and I love my work now, but to watch them grow and teach them goofy little things so that they say them.
Get them on their toy mowers, right?
Yeah, to
John
play
Deere
ball
Power
with that.
Wheels.
Yeah, John Deere toys, whatever kind of toys.
Yeah.
But that's what brings me joy today is spending that time with my family, because there were so many years in this business where you're married to your job, the job's the lifestyle, and you don't get your weekends, you don't get your nights, you don't get regular holidays off. We worked every holiday but Christmas we could work.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, it's just evolved for me.
And that's so awesome that again you figured out a way to sort of find the important things in life and focus on them when you needed to, which is awesome. With everything like the Rose Bowl and whatnot, I'm always intrigued when it comes, and this is sort of like a past like questions for
Sure.
Michigan State. I'm always intrigued what the sort of relationship is, and it seems like you had a very good relationship with the front office, meaning like athletic directors and all that. What was sort of the working relationship with like the coaches and the players, if they had input on anything like that? Was there anything like that for you and your crew when it came to practice facility, game field, expectations, like what they're thinking? Because coaches sometimes like to think they know more than you a lot of the time, but what was that kind of like for you? And again, for 17 years, 16 years?
16.
16 years. I mean, there's so much time to develop a good relationship, working relationship. What was that like for you? And how was Michigan State maybe different than other places?
I'd say like the relationship that I had with all of our head football coaches that I worked with, like when I was at Michigan, I worked with Lloyd Carr, and then John L. Smith and Coach D'Antonio. So I'll just speak about the football relationships because that was like my primary responsibilities. But, you know, I always knew that, and this is maybe a little different philosophy, is that, you know, I'm a steward of something. It doesn't belong to me.
I love that.
So I always had this kind of outlook that, you know, I need to do the best I can to take care of this for everybody. And so I would just ask, like when I'd just pop in. I had a field coach when I was at Michigan. We talk like every day during the season. We talk once in a while. Like that was Brady Hoke, who's been a head coach as well in the NCAA. But we talk every day about the field, like what do you need, stuff like that. And then, you know, moving on to John L. Smith and Coach D'Antonio, like I always started with, okay, what are the 3 most important things you need from me and my staff? Like, is there something I can do right now? And so they would tell me, and then our crew would always focus on those first 3 things that they said, right? And we'd talk it through, and then, you know, then they'd ask, they all asked actually, like, what do you need from me? And I said, you know, just talk to me. Like, tell me what you want. Like, I love this game. I love this team. And I said, all I'm really looking for is jewelry at the end of the day. So, you know, let's figure this out. Like, how do we do that? And that always made him smile, you know. I said, chicks dig diamonds. So, you know, let's get some championship rings or necklaces or whatever.
Something along the lines of...
Yeah, I said, that's all I need. I just need a championship ring when we get done.
That's so cool.
But, and like you were saying, like when it comes to managing it, everybody has to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. Your groundskeepers, your coaches, your players. If you're not on the same page, then there's a weak link, and something's not flowing. They're not.
Right?
Yeah, and I mean, just make everybody's job easier. You make the fields better by staying on the same page. And for what we do when we...
I was about to ask that question.
You know what? You can step away. Me and Amy got this. No.
Nina and I are just going to interview each other the rest of the time.
I would love to watch
But
that.
after we build the field and we're turning it over to them, it's like, okay, well, I can come back a year later and go, what the heck happened here? Or I can come back and say, wow, it's still a brand new field. So if you get everybody on the same page, and especially like when you're younger levels or, you know, different groups that are playing on it, they play nonstop and they get beat up nonstop. And if you can get family or parents involved, the kids involved, what one groundskeeper could do in 8 hours, a team can do in an hour. You know, it takes a little training.
Exactly.
It takes a little training. Yep. It takes a little, you know, at first, but as soon as they start teaching each other, and when you go out to a field, you can tell who's on the same page with each other, who's communicating, and who's just said, oh, somebody will take care of it, not me, you know.
I always loved it. Like Coach D would, I'd get a call or a text like come over or something from practice, and like he'd have a new coach on his staff, and this coach would just be in one spot and he'd be drilling, and Coach D would come over and he'd like yell at him and tell him, what are you doing? Like, you need to move. Like, we have to use this field like all the rest of the fall. You're killing me here. And then I get like these little ha-has and stuff from like other staff, like, ha-ha, this was the new guy, he got it, you know. And it would happen whenever he'd get a new coach or whatever.
That's so awesome though that the coach.
But it was like,
page.
it's so special to be respected. Like, you just want to be appreciated for what you do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important thing.
I agree. So, and I know some of these schools out there that I work with, the pitcher is in charge of patching his own mound when he's done. The catcher's in charge of patching his own area.
Yeah.
And the base positions, they're in charge of breaking out their areas. When they see what it takes to maintain that, they respect it more. And not only that, but they look at it and they say, this is mine. This is our field. It's
ownership.
not. Yeah, it's their field. You know, so it's pretty cool when you have people working together like that and communicating with each other like that.
For sure, and I think that's important again as an industry, and this event is doing that, is showing everyone like how much actually does go into it. It's not just I'm at the ballpark, here we go, you know. Which there are so many people. I was a victim of that as a kid, you know. I tell the story again too often, but I was a huge New York Mets fan, still am. We're actually good finally. That was a miracle. We'll crash and burn now. But we went to a game, and Pete Flynn had put the New York cityscape in the outfield, like mowed in. And for 2 seconds, I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And then I was done. I didn't think about how I got in there, who did it, or whatever.
Right.
I was back on. Mike Piazza, my favorite player, the Hall of Fame catcher, not the Hall of Fame groundskeeper, you know, because I was just oblivious. And I hope to one day shed more light on, again, that's why, it's half the reason why I do these podcasts, is just to like show people like there are so many incredible human beings out there that take care of your fields, whether you're a Little League T-ball player or you're a fan at a professional sporting event, you know, like it's showing what you guys do and the significance, especially when it comes to field construction. Like there are so many things that can go wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not just like there's a big mess up. If there's like one little thing off, you can have the whole field be screwed.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
So I appreciate what you guys do and the expertise that you bring to the table, because we're actually going to have a field renovation at Brentsville this winter. We have, I don't know how we did it, but every school in our county has artificial turf field on their game field, and we were up for our turn. But with the program and the kids and their work, they're going to put on a practice field. So, again, thank you, Prince William County, for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the field now, though, is like from like the 60s. So, like, it is 2 feet below the track, and they're putting in a new track, so they have to renovate the field to make sure everything's graded right. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous because I don't want it to be like messed up, and I want to get out there and do stuff, but I'm not allowed to because of the contract and everything. But yeah, it's incredible what you guys do with field construction.
With you describing what you're hoping your field is, it just made me think that when we look into building these fields, there's not one set plan. You want a baseball field? Oh, here's the plan. It's like every single field is completely different. It has whatever it is, different soils, what's the structures around it, the history behind it, and it's just like, so I say every field has its own beast. When you go in, you can kind of say this is how we're going to build it, but when you go in and you start tearing things up, you're like, wow, look what I just found, or we didn't consider, we didn't take this into account and stuff like that. So yes, every field is different, and you're going to, I hope that, I hope everything goes great with your field. No, I will.
I'll send you an email when it's all
And
jacked up.
And along the same lines, though, I think you want the three same outcomes, whether you're a professional athlete or whether you're putting in something at your local park. You want it to be safe, playable, and aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly.
Right?
100%.
In that order.
Yeah.
In that order.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And
Need to get on a t-shirt.
absolutely.
Yes. So you're talking about the variables and everything. That's actually my next question. You're always answering my questions before I ask them.
We got
It's awesome.
this. We
She's
got
like,
this.
she's lobbing you softballs.
Yeah, hey, literally.
You're making me think of things.
Again, you guys should do this Monday afterwards. You guys should do a softball home run derby grounds crew. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be fun.
What are you guys looking for specifically when you're on site? Obviously, you're talking about there's different things for every single one. Are there things specific that, hey, we need to double check this. Hey, we need to be aware we might need this, this, and this? Or is there just, it's case by case, like when things happen, you find out? Or is there like a strategic plan that you guys have going in?
I think it's kind of case by case because it's like,
Yeah.
why are they building? I mean, there's a purpose. I mean, they need more fields, whatever that scenario is. Why are they renovating? What's happening that they need a new field too? So it's a case by case.
Why are we here today? Like, what is the issue that you're having that we need to solve
Yeah.
for you?
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, let's say maybe it's a drainage issue. Maybe it's a grade issue. I mean, it can go on and on.
Oh yeah.
You have to see what the situation is. What are we dealing with, and let's problem solve why, and then let's fix it.
And what is your expectation coming out of this project? I think that is also
The
another
cost
really important.
part, right? Yeah.
Not necessarily just cost. I mean, you know, as a company, you have to think about that. But like, what's the outcome? Like, what are you expecting? Are you expecting like a park quality? Are you expecting professional quality? Like, how many events are you going to have on this thing? Like,
Who's playing on it? Yep.
Yeah.
How many games are you playing? Yep. It's
And I love how you guys take that into account before it's even there. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, okay, I got to take care of this.
we
like,
do.
Yeah.
absolutely.
They don't. We
Right?
have to
There's
tell them
a
that.
lot of folks that don't do that.
I just
They-
need a field. What
build-
do you mean?
build it.
Why do I need to know how many hours
Yeah.
it's getting
Yeah.
used?
I need a new field.
And I don't know, a lot of things that I do too, I work with general contractors that are in the area, and they're subbing me to do the inside
Yeah.
part, and they're building the big part on the outside. So I'm working just sometimes fencing is what I say.
Yeah.
But, where was I going?
Well, we do a lot of the same thing. Like, we focus, right? We focus
Yeah.
on the field itself.
Right, I know I was going with that, but they're not spec'd.
Yeah.
I'm
They
building
don't
something
have
based
it.
on their specs.
Yeah.
And they didn't come to a ball field, they didn't come to us and say, hey, how would you build this? They said, this is how you're going to build it. And I'm going, why would you do that? And then I have to go in and try to do change orders or things like that. So I don't.
No, so
To me, if you're going to build a field, especially at the higher levels too, know who your groundskeeper is.
yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Talk to him. Know what materials does he want on his field? What is he used to? What grasses he likes? What infield
What's the
soils?
budget you're going to have to maintain it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
What
for sure.
equipment are you giving them to maintain it?
Yeah.
You're
Are
taking
you gonna
consideration,
be
or
able to
you
do
might
it?
have to
Yeah.
bring in people to help every year. A
Yeah.
subcontractor to help grade out the field or whatever. So,
Yep.
those are the things sometimes people forget about.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, we got this sweet stadium. It's beautiful," and it's like, okay, but who's taking care of it?
Yeah. And the subcontracting and everything. My brother, he's a baseball coach, just brand new high school. So they put in a new field, and in the past they don't pay attention to their subcontracts and what they're doing and who's doing what on the fields because they're focusing on getting the building in. Like they didn't have their housing permit until like the week before school started, so no one was allowed in the building. So it was kind of like a panic, like they weren't paying attention. But they put the field in, and it was like not graded correctly. People drove on it after it was graded, forklifts and whatnot. And when they laid the sod, they left gaps like 4 inches. And we were there telling them to like do it right, and I showed them, and they were like, "No, this is fine." So I was like, "So you don't have enough sod, is what you're trying to tell me right now?" Like, there are so many things that people.
So it'll fill in.
They'll
That's,
fill
no,
it.
that's literally what
Yeah.
I was like. They were like, "Why are you challenging me on this? What are you talking?" I was like, "I have a 4-year degree in turfgrass management." He's like, "Oh," and then he walks away. I'm like, "Of course, yeah, no, that's what I wanted from you." No, but they didn't take into account in the subcontracting, like they didn't have the grade, they didn't have the right way of doing it, like you guys know. And again, that's what's great about your guys' companies is that it brings that expertise and it brings the experience all together to ensure the safe playing surfaces that are gonna be there forever. Is there anything that you're focusing on? Like, is it high schools, colleges, with your organizations? Obviously, you were talking about going around the world and whatnot. You're getting back to your roots, but what are you focusing on when it comes to a job? What makes sense to you is probably the best wording for it.
Yeah. We're a small company. We don't have 1 million people. We're not all over the United
Yeah, yeah.
States.
Those are the best.
I like.
No offense.
Well, I mean, I personally like to stay local. I mean, it keeps the budget, it keeps the price down. I'm not moving equipment everywhere. We try to source things that are locally when it comes to soils. You know, and that helps sometimes your budgets too. So I'm working with, yes, the younger levels, the youth, the little leagues, all the way up to, we have a few, we have the TD Ameritrade, we have Werner Park, you know, so we don't have any professional stadiums in Nebraska, so, but I like to stay local. It also helps having a family, you know, and things like that. You're not out of town all the time,
and that's where we're the opposite. Like, so, no, I mean, I think we bring that that small company feel to the little bit bigger stage. You know, we're looking to do collegiate and professional fields. We're looking at, you know, really high-end type renovations and construction. The more complicated, the better. As far as I'm concerned, you know, you're typically dealing with owners, reps, clients, groundskeepers for those, you know, that work with that organization. You're working with field architects. You're working with designers. So, like, you're shuffling a deck and throwing it all down, and, you know, really coming together to create something special. And the field is like this anomaly a lot of times for a lot of them, and seeing a lot of the OGs in the business like aging out, like a lot of the younger folks just don't have the expertise to like step in and say, I want, you know, root zone with this percent, you know, of fines and medium coarse sands, and like they don't necessarily have the technical background to be able to put all the pieces together and tell the folks in their organization what they need. Yeah. Right. So, you know, that's where you know you have to come in, and it's like you're coaching up folks too. Like, you know, if it were me and I was in this situation and these were the challenges I was having, like, this is how I might do this. You know,
that's what we need more of, you know, in the country when it comes to even like just fields, because no one recognizes like the sheer mass, the number of athletic fields there are, even in like a school district. Like,
that's why, and that's another reason why I don't have to go far. Right? Yeah, just in my neighborhood, I have two that are in the park by the school. Yeah, and those are played on. You know, so you don't have to go far to find a field.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And the other thing is like people want to know, but they don't know where to go to find the knowledge. You know, because there are great resources out there, and obviously incredible people that know what they're doing, but they don't contact the right people. You know, no, not a shot at a PhD or anybody. Love you guys. You guys are great, but like they're not the ones that are going to be the ones to call, which is who they usually call. They're like, well, we don't actually build fields or anything like that. So, yeah, what you guys do is incredible because, again, the overall like process, like going through figuring out the bid, figuring out how to do all of the grading, what variety, what are we doing here, what's the schedule like afterwards, are we doing FERD apps, are we doing chemicals, anything like that. Like it's such a long process. It's an awesome process to be a part of, I'm sure. But it's so cool to see it all come together, you know, in the end. So
for sure. And then I'm sure you get to travel to all your fields, but staying local, I can pop by. I can have watch a game, and just see how the field's playing. I can, you know, check out what's going on. Yeah, so it's to me. I'm kind of just like living in kind of like a less stressful life. I mean, she's got all these, you know, like.
There's a little bit of stress involved with that process.
And I'm on the other end, like I just want to sit on a tractor, you know, like I'm gonna, and I'm helping also, you know, with the maintenance. So I'm also aerating and seeding and stuff like that. So I can, when I'm out there, I can say,
it's a good business.
We're getting somewhere in those outfields. We really need to make sure that we're up in our aeration or maybe top dressing and things like that. So being local, I can stay local and I can get out and take care of my customers. Absolutely. Even when they're not calling me, I can still come and pop in and call on them.
And that's why your company's so successful, because you're taking the initiative and you're being that person they need, you know, and that's awesome. And I appreciate it, you know, even though I'm not there. It's just great to hear. With all of that, I wrap it up on this question because, again, we're a high school program where we're trying to get kids interested in the industry and all that. what would be your best words of advice for someone who's interested, like a Liz, in joining the industry, looking towards field construction, maybe even college athletics, whatever it is? What would be your best words of advice for them sort of taking that next step?
I would tell them to, one, go try other things. There are a lot of things out.
Yep.
There's baseball, there's football, there's turf, there's
Absolutely.
soils, there's maintenance. I mean, there are so many different parts of the industry. If you're looking at this industry, turf, there's so many different parts of it. Try a few different things and see where you fit. And love what you do. If you wake up every morning, I mean, some days aren't, you want to stay in bed.
No, I hear
But
you.
at the end of the day, it's passion. I look at the field and I say, is it good enough for me? And if it's not good enough for me, I'm not moving. I'm not leaving. So at the end of the day, I look at the field. I love the field. that's
We're all turf nerds.
I know, straight turf nerds.
Yeah.
But I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do, and I love waking up, and I love going to work, and I love doing this now.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I would say, it's great that you have relationships in the business, and I always would tell our interns to, find a mentor, and find more mentors in the business. Try different things out while you can. When you're single and you can move around and you can do different things. Like, if you think that, you've always wanted to go be in LA and work on the Dodgers field, like, do it. Go for a summer. Go do it. Like, just let me know. We'll make some phone calls and we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But go and chase it, have passion, but understand that there'll be a give and take in your life, just like with any profession, that you have to pick and choose what's important to you in your life.
Absolutely.
This isn't an easy business to work in.
Gotta love it.
You got to truly love it, have passion for it, and it's attainable, and you can be incredibly successful.
One more thing I think is very important too is find a company or whoever you work for that supports you, that supports your growth. If this, not like my boss supports me being here for a week. Does he want me at home right now? Yes, he does. But he sees the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, find that support.
Absolutely.
And
Agreed.
that,
Great
that it's
point.
very important, very important. If your boss does not support you, even though you might love your field, you might have the best course in the whole wide world, but if your boss does not support you or respect you, then find another. You can make another course, you can make another field just as beautiful.
That might be probably the most underrated thing, and that's the first time I've heard it from anyone. Having someone there that will be there whenever you need them, and obviously you love, those relationships will make life a living nightmare or amazing, and that's, if you have the right relationship, it's going to take you wherever you want to go,
So then I have to give a shout out then to Pat O'Donnell for letting me be here today.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. We appreciate
Dreams
you.
coming true out here. Thank you.
I do have one thing to say to you two. I want to thank you guys so much for what you're doing for the younger girls that are here. It is incredible to see them, again, learning from you guys firsthand, and my kids absolutely love you, and they're always talking about, like, this is incredible. Like, I can't believe I'm here right now learning from these incredible women. Like, I truly cannot thank you enough, especially taking them under your wing and just giving them the experience that no one could ever really imagine, so.
Well, let's not forget why they're here, though.
Yes.
It's because of who we're sitting next to.
Exactly. And
Because if
we're
it wasn't-
learning from them
Right.
as much as they're learning from us.
If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be here either. So you reached out. I mean, what you do, what you're doing, you're a big part of it too.
Yeah,
so
shout out to you.
Thank you
Thank
for what
you.
you're doing for us
course.
in the industry too.
Of course, anytime. All right.